What's going on, guys? This is Jacob from the ChaosDivers. I have came out with an invention that improves what is already there, but yet is going to help us out tremendously. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss it.
We are ChaosDivers, a sonar search and recovery dive team who navigates the waters with the hopes of providing answers to the families and loved ones of those that are missing. With the love and support from all of you, as well as the backing of law enforcement and first responders, we've been able to help families nationwide. For more information on how you can help us on our journey, please check out the description below. The easiest and the best way is to like, subscribe, and share our content. Thank you.
I want to give special thanks to Lindsay's intro. Lindsay does an amazing job at keeping me in line and also doing the introduction and just being an amazing person on what she does for ChaosDivers. Without her, there's a lot of things that wouldn't get done. So thank you, Lindsay. With that being said, I'm going to show you what's in the box. What's in this box? It's crazy. It's an invention. It's an improvement to improve something. It'll all make sense here in a second. Once I get this unzipped, I probably should have already had it unzipped, but give me a second. There's a lot of times we can't dive due to the fact it's unsafe for me to dive by myself when it's just Lindsay and I. Money is a big factor, so I can't afford to get like a high-end type sonar, not sonar system, but submarine. Came up with something. Check this out. It's made by EYOYO. EYOYO. This is already out there. You can buy this on Amazon. I'm going to show you guys. So this was presented to me by Aqua Adventurer, Lee from the Aqua Adventurer. If you guys haven't checked him out, you better check him out. But he was like, man, have you seen these? Let me show you. What we have here is an LCD screen. It's a 9-inch LCD screen. Oh, and somebody forgot to turn it off. That ain't good. Okay, so the power's been on for like 4 days. I don't know if it'll affect it or not, but regardless, it's a pretty cool setup. So this is the battery pack, the LCD screen. Now this is only going to work in this is only going to work in clear water. I'm not going to be able to see in anywhere else, but. And I'm going to show you guys how to make it. I'm going to show you what I did, what I put on it to get to where we're at. And if you look up this system, it is a 9-inch colored monitor. It's basically an ice fishing camera with a little twist. I looked at it, I'm like, man, that looks pretty awesome, Lee, but I think we can do something better to get stabilization, because right now it's almost like a little cone shape. It's about that big. It's a camera. It's an underwater camera that you can see, and you get live feed from your sonar screen or from your TV screen. That screen right there, it all hooks up, and I'll show you here in a second, but it's only about that big. The head on it, I can't remember the size. I think it's 1.5 inches, and it slenders down into a cone shape. And it almost looks like a fishing lure. It's actually made like a fishing lure. LED lights, camera, camera lenses on there, and it's only about that big. Now you're looking at this like, what in the heck did Jacob just do? Let me tell you what this is. This is, okay, so it's I just got a bug in my ear. This is, that's in the other ear. This is an 1.5 inch tailpiece for a sink drain, followed by an 1.5 inch coupler, and that's the coupler link that you put on like when you put on a P-trap, right? So I got to thinking, how can we stabilize this and support the little tiny wire? And I may be able to show you the wire inside there. You probably can't see it, but it is super tiny. There it is, super tiny. So this protects it from the harsh tailpiece. I drilled a hole in the side here for the wire to go in. I fed all the wire out of the little reel that it comes in. Comes in just a, I don't have the reel with me, but it comes in a reel. I had to break that apart, get the wire out. I sent the wire through this side. I took the eyes off. It looks like a lure and it has eyes on it. I took those eyes off. I took the little hook, the little eyelet hooks off the top and off. I think there was 2 on the top and 1 on the bottom. I should have put this together and showed you guys because I can't take it off due to the fact I'll tell you why here shortly. But when you take all that off and you kind of file that, there's a little bait wire that comes out. I took that off and I grinded that down to the metal, to the actual camera, so it'll slide in. It literally fits in this 1.5 inch tailpiece, slides in there, cinches down, absolutely perfect. And I'm like, it couldn't have fit any better. Now, you're thinking, well, that's just gonna sit there and wobble back and forth. I thought about that. Inside here, you're gonna see foam. Well, Jacob, foam floats. I know this, but it doesn't float when you include BBs like out of a Daisy BB gun, just like regular BBs. So I poured BBs in here all the way to the end, and this little cable right here is fed all the way to the end of the camera. So I fed that in there, got it all situated. I started dropping BBs in there, and I use it's like $6 or $8, but it's the big bottle of BBs. I poured that in there in conjunction with squirting the it's not the non-foaming, it's the non-aggressive where it won't actually bulge. I think it's called non-bulging foam, just insulation foam. So in combination, I poured the BBs in there, I squirted that stuff in, and then I got a little ramrod, I think what I used was just a long screwdriver, but I kept poking that. It's messy, but I kept poking all that in there, and then I pour more BBs in there until I got to the point where I could seal it off. It works flawlessly. It's about 2 pounds. I also I spooled this out and I connected, it's almost like paracord, but it's not. I got it from Walmart. It's just really, really thin rope all the way up with taping it every so often, so it doesn't get caught in there. This spool comes from TSC, and it is a wire spool for electric fence, and it's just a small spool. I was able to cut a hole in the side here, put the wires in, and you kind of cinch them down so when you reel it up, I mean, it is a flawless system currently. Now, so I can take this and I can drop it down. Let me hold it for a second so it don't smack the ground hard, but just taking it out. Well, give me a second, I'm holding it. So just like that, works perfect. And I can sit there and unravel it all the way. Now, whenever I get to plug it in, all I got to do is just undo this and plug it into the system. Now, I'll show you what the system looks like. Now, I've only got about 52 feet of rope. I generally don't go 30 feet, but I put 52 foot of rope on there. Now, let me show you this hooked up. Pretty sure it's gonna work. And by the way, it's 100 and about 100 degrees out here, so excuse me for sweating like a pig. So I've almost got it all hooked up. We got one more wire to hook up and then I'll turn it on and I'll show you guys here in a second. There we go. Now we got power. So again, I've had this on since we came back searching for my boy from searching for Brendan, the lost swimmer. So it still has power, so that's good. Battery life is amazing. All right, so you got the camera, and I put a big blue on the bottom so I can turn that light on, and then it shines with, oh, there's an ant on there, but it shines with the camera, and it also has LEDs on that too, so just extra lighting. Now, the camera quality is pretty decent. It looks a little blue right now because I'm kind of shining it in the light, but I can see perfectly. Now, I can adjust the saturation, but look how, I mean, that's perfect to see. Whatever I got to look at, I can see it. So, well, you can just see me. But if I was to mess with a setting on the side here, you would see a little better. Now, with all that, you're thinking, how is it not going to keep from doing that, right? The resistance between these two ropes, here and here, it stabilizes itself pretty good. I've already tested it. Yeah, it does spin a little bit, but once you drop it in the water and the weights of the BBs, the weight of the light, I think it's going to be okay. Now, here comes the best part. I haven't gotten it yet because I don't know why. I don't understand why they don't have Nerf footballs anymore, but I'm gonna put an adapter on the back. They have them, they don't have them at my Walmart. So, you know the Nerf footballs. I'm gonna cut the Nerf football in the back, the one with like, it almost looks like an arrow on the back. I don't remember what they're called. They're just kids Nerf footballs where you throw them and it's got the styrofoam arrow on the back. I'm gonna put a reducer down here, stick it in there, so then I'll have stability in the water, almost like a torpedo. So this is what's gonna help us out when we're in New York, in Canada. I just wanted to share this with you, just in case you guys decide that you need to see underwater, and if you're not a diver, you can make something sort of like this. I also use clamps, pipe clamps on here. So it's a crazy invention. I know it works. I've seen it work. The only thing is we can't see in muddy water, but all the waters that we're gonna be at, we're gonna be able to see. This is just a quick check, and it's a safety feature, kind of. I just got interrupted by a phone call. Always, every single time. So, this may look crazy. I wanted to share it with you in case you wanted to build something sort of like this, and the steps that I did. I messed up and I didn't show you guys how I did it physically, but I think I explained it well enough that you can make one of your own. And if you do, send me a video of it. But yeah, it's about, I'm gonna say 2 or 3 pounds. We can drop this to 150 feet. There's 50 meters of this. The camera, thank you, Sue, for getting the camera for us. It was around 200, I think, 250, something like that. But I think it's going to work perfect. I really do. And again, it's just for clear water. We may not even be able to utilize it in a lot of places, but in the places we can, this is going to come in super handy, so I don't have to sit there and risk my life in some spots to try to get to. I think with the Nerf football end. Now, also, I forgot, this is designed that I can put a 5-foot pole with holes in the side so you don't fight the water getting into the pipe. There's a 90 street L that I put on here, and I could put a pipe and I could sit there and scan with it up on top. I just think it's really neat. It's a really neat contraption. Me and Lee, we thought of some ideas about this and just racking our brains on something. And I said, well, I've got an idea. And this was my little rendition of my idea. And yeah, we thought about it, and he helped me out through the stuff. So thank you, Lee. And if you guys make something like this, hit me up. I want to show you this, guys, because if I can help somebody else out and bring somebody home with this idea, I'm going to do it. And the only reason why I did this is because it's only held on by a little wire that I showed you, and it was just, when you undo it, it just sits there and spins. So you have to wait till it stops spinning, and then when you're in current, it's going to be useless. So this idea, I think, is going to work. So thanks again, guys, for all your support. Keep diving, it's not where to stop. Love each and every one of you, and I'll see you later.